And now the latest from Niger, which has been slapped with more sanctions as the military junta refused to reinstate the ousted President Mohamed Bazoum. Immediately after the coup, Ecowas, which is a group of West African countries, suspended all commercial transactions with Niger. Ivory Coast followed suit and stopped all imports and exports of goods. Border and airspace closures have cut off supplies of basic goods like medicine and food, hampering the UN humanitarian effort. As a retaliatory move, Nigeria also cut all its electricity supply. This was a major hit to Niger, which hardly produces any electricity domestically. And then came the barrage of financial sanctions. Nigeria has ordered new sanctions through its central bank. This is aimed at squeezing funding for those involved in the takeover. Ecowas has shut down its regional bank and has cut all assistance with development banks. European Union, France, Canada and World Bank have all shut their lines of financing as well. These sanctions don't end with that. Military financing is a big part of Niger's economy because it is a country deeply embroiled in fighting groups such as the ISIS and Al-Qaeda. International military education and training have been halted. The Netherlands and the United States have suspended security and humanitarian aid programs as well. These different sanctions are hitting Niger hard. According to the 2023 budget projections, the country is expected to have a budget of $5.53 billion for this fiscal year, and 40% of this budget was expected to come from external partners, which looks extremely dicey now. So the strong arm tactics by Ecowas and the West are working, it seems. But Niger has an ace up its sleeve. Niger is the world's 7th biggest producer of uranium, which is vital for the nuclear industry. And interestingly, it is the 2nd biggest exporter to France after Kazakhstan. The coup leaders have already halted its trade with some Western countries, including France. There is a big question looming over the Ecowas summit that is slated for Thursday, whether the bloc will sanction Niger's uranium, because the decision might make Europe look at the world's biggest exporter of uranium, Russia, and that's a difficult task for many reasons itself. And for more on this, we are now being joined by Nabil Ahmed from Accra in Ghana. And Nabil, what kind of pressure do we expect these sanctions to have on Niger, and what's the pushback we can expect from them?
Well, the sanctions will really bite the economy of Niger and further put millions of people into poverty. But it appears the junta leader is not really backing down. He's still holding on to power and has already missed the deadline set by Ecowas to release the ousted President Mohamed Bazoum and reinstate him or restore the country to civilian order. Ecowas, that's the regional bloc, is expected to hold an emergency meeting on Thursday to really discuss the way forward. And already we know that they've imposed economic sanctions on Niger, and what's is going to follow next, that is quite unsure. We are quite unsure about that. But we know that they actually sent a delegation to Niamey, the capital, to meet with the junta leader and other military people that did the coup to see how best some negotiations can go on. But the junta leader refused to meet these ECOWAS delegation. So that's quite a tricky situation at the moment to see how this whole situation will be resolved. The question still looms whether ECOWAS or the regional bloc would go ahead with the military intervention. And that could be really catastrophic for the West African country should the West African regional bloc, ECOWAS, goes ahead to use military force to compel the junta leader to restore constitutional order. But already things are not looking too good in the Nigerian country, and people are really struggling to even buy food and the basic amenities.
Right, tricky situation there in Niger as well. We'll have to wait and watch what the decision of the junta leaders is. Thanks, Nabil, for joining us with the very latest.